Melanie Foltz-Mayers from Eden Mayers HR Consulting. HR Consulting to keep you out of trouble and delivering your passions. So it is Thursday, which means it's blog day and vlog day. And even better than that, the children are back to school. So hi, it's my first vlog of September. I am so excited to see you all. I hope you've had a great break and are ready to hit the ground running. So this month I'm going to take you through a case study each week. So just to talk you through some of the things, some of the challenges that our clients have had and how we've helped them. So I'm hoping that you'll learn a little something. If you have any questions, queries, if suddenly it makes you think, oh my gosh, literally do just comment below and we will respond to you. So today I want to talk to you about the time my professional face disappeared. Oh, don't mind the plaster on the finger. I managed to cut my finger cutting a lemon for my hot water and lemon this morning. Anyway, so yes, I'm going to talk to you about the time my professional mask dropped. So a lot of the time when I meet people and I tell them what I do for a living, they tell me a bit of a dodgy or scary HR story about an incident with an individual or someone being caught doing something naughty at work. And because you know, everybody likes a bit of drama, so I like to think that I'm really good. I have a great poker face. I'm very rarely shocked because obviously I have friends who work in HR, so we share stories. So generally speaking, it's pretty hard to shock me when you tell me something that's happened within your organisation. But anyway, we'll keep things anonymous. But one of my clients, before I started working with them, and when we met, we were having a chat, they asked me quite a lot of questions about employee relationships, to the point where they were asking, was it possible to document policies that banned them completely? So, you know, we kind of had some chats around those kind of things. And they told me there were some outstanding issues before we started. So I was fully prepared that we were going to hit the ground running with them and that there was going to be lots of things to do. Anyway, about 2 weeks after they signed the contract, I got a call saying, we've got an ET1 form come through in the post today, and they're having a bit of a panic. So in case you don't know, an ET1 is a document that you get from the Employment Tribunal service that says that someone's lodged a claim, and you have a certain amount of days to respond to the claim, and then obviously then it goes backwards and forwards a bit from there. So they received this, they were having a bit of a panic, they weren't sure what to do. So I went into their office, and you know, they were for them to gather all the evidence, for them to explain to me what happened, for me to find out what's what. And it transpired that they had an individual who had raised a grievance against their manager, and it had been investigated, it had been upheld. That person had then gone off sick, and so this person had been off sick for a few months, like 2 to 3 months, and they just stopped paying them. So this ET1 came in, and it came in about discrimination, but it also came in about non-payment. And so so I was like, okay, fine. So explain to me what's happened, explain to me what you've done, you know, with the pay. And basically, in essence, they were like, well, she didn't come into work, so we didn't pay her. I was like, did you contact her? No. Have you been chasing her up at all? No. Did you receive any sick certificates? Think we might have received one. Do you know when it expired? No. And you know, went through their policies, etc., etc., and I was just a bit like, oh my god, they're in big trouble now. So I kind of had to, you know, have a big chat and say, all right, fine, legislatively, you know, and looking at your contracts, you're supposed to pay their full pay for the first month, and then she was supposed to go on to SSP, which stands for statutory sick pay, and so you do definitely owe her this money. But added to that, she's still on your books. You need to deal with her as an employee, and perhaps we need to have a bit of a conversation to see whether or not we could do a bit of a settlement to terminate her contract with the organisation and get everything done, because it looks like she's not ready to come back to work. And so they were so surprised. They were like, why would we have to pay her? She hasn't come into work, we haven't heard anything. And I'm like, well, you can't show me any documentation, you haven't shown a duty of care, you haven't checked in with her, you haven't done anything, you've got nothing to tell me, there's nothing documented, and it's not that you're telling me you've done it and it's not documented, you actually haven't done it. I think they could tell by the look on my face I was a bit concerned about how they looked after the duty of care for their staff. So in the end, I had to contact this individual myself, and I met with her in an independent location, and we had a good chat, and we were able to come to a figure to be able to terminate her contract and not end up in Employment Tribunal. Now, my client was happy because they didn't end up in Employment Tribunal, and to be fair, I negotiated pretty niftily, so it cost them less than it could have done. So in the scale that I gave them, they ended up only having to pay the lower scale. But it could have been a lot worse, and it could have been a lot worse. Had she dug her heels in and gone all the way to Employment Tribunal, it could have been really difficult. The reason for sharing this case study is because often we do things as business owners that seem sensible to us at the time. So the owner of that business was American, and the way you do things in America and the way you do things here are very different with regards to employment law. And the one thing that I've always said is that there's a process. The reason why you have policies and processes is because you ought to follow them. You have a duty of care to follow them and to make sure you document all of those things, which means that, yes, some people will be upset if they raise a grievance and they don't get the outcome that they require, but there's a process for that, and there's also a process for sickness, and never the twain shall meet. So, be aware that with everything that's going on within your organisation, to make sure that you document everything and you keep it, and to make sure that you're following policy, because those are the two things that will get you out of having to do a massive payout for the ET, Employment Tribunal, because you would have shown that you've followed process, you've been very clear and transparent, and you've been doing things the right way. So I just thought I'd share that with you. If you have any questions or comments or queries, do let me know. As I said, comment in the comments below. There will also be, there is also my blog version of this on our website, and the link for that will also be below. So if you want to read a bit more about this situation, you can definitely do that. But apart from that, enjoy the rest of the first week of September, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!